charges must be dropped. We know the jury will carefully consider this, and our demand to the judges is that the charges be dropped. And when do we want it? Now. When do we want it? Now.
Thank you, Phyllis. Phyllis, that's right. We all just want to do a little jump up and down to keep warm. Okay, a little announcement. Check you've got your ticket, people, if you got the train, because a ticket has been found from Chelmsford to Canonbury. So if someone came from Canonbury to Chelmsford, check you've got your return. From Canonbury to Chelmsford, check you've got your return. Because you've got a ticket here, so just come up and see me. We've got Tim G. Sorry, Jonathan. I know I said Jonathan Bartley was going to speak after Phyllis, but actually we've changed the order a little bit because Tim is here from Amnesty International. And he's got to go into the court in a minute because he's going to be observing the trial for the whole 6 weeks because it is a violation of human rights. Not only the racist and brutal deportation system that we're facing, but the way that terrorism charges have been applied to human rights activists. So Tim's going to say a few words about that.
Thank you. Well, I'm Tim from Amnesty International. I'm part of the Amnesty Observing Team, and I'm doing today. I've got a short statement just explaining why it is that we're doing what we're doing. Amnesty International stands in solidarity with the Stansted 15 brave human rights defenders who took non-violent direct action to speak up against injustice and to stand up for human rights. We've documented with concern how in Europe and globally, criminal, civil law, administrative laws are increasingly being misused to target and harass human rights defenders, including those who are working for the rights of migrants, asylum seekers. So we will observe the trial because we're concerned that the terrorism-related charge may have been brought against the Stansted 15 to discourage other activists from taking non-violent direct action in defence of human rights. Imposing this charge on this case may constitute an undue restriction on the rights to freedom of expression and to peaceful assembly and contravene the UK's human rights obligations. So we've written to Amnesty International has written to the Director of the Crown Prosecution Service and the Attorney General to express these concerns, and we've called on them to drop this disproportionate charge. We must ensure that people are free to peacefully protest and to take non-violent direct action, non-violent action at no risk to others in defence of human rights. In many countries of the world, governments and others in power do all that they can to discourage non-violent human rights defenders by accusing them of being criminals, of being unpatriotic, or even of being terrorists. The UK must not become such a country.
Thank you very much, Tim, and thanks for your work on this. So next we're going to hear from Selina Nguelu. Give it up for Selina! Who's just been stuck in traffic for ages trying to get here. She's been part of the bus from London. So we've got a whole new bunch of people that have come to join us. Let's give them a round of applause for coming to make it down. So Selina is a poet and she's going to read some of her poetry to us. Thank you.
Hi, thank you. So it's really good to be here. I'm just reading. I was asked to write a piece about hostile environment quite recently, and I thought I'd share it with you. So it's kind of like a creative essay / poem, and it's in 4 parts, and I'll read the last 3 parts for you. This is called "The Audacity of Our Skin." And I started off really with a quote from Stuart Hall, who says, "You don't worry about dirt in the garden because it belongs in the garden. But the moment you see dirt in the bedroom, you have to do something about it because it symbolically doesn't belong there. And what you do with dirt in the bedroom is to cleanse it. You sweep it out, you restore order, You police boundaries. You know the hard and fast boundaries around what belongs and what doesn't. Inside, outside, cultured, uncivilized, barbarous, cultivated, and so on. And so that was Stuart Hall's decision as opposed to members on their motto of place theory. And so that really is the starting point for this. I'll start with So number 2, hostile. A definition. Bitter. Windrush citizen. Here until your skin is no longer needed. Cold. Migrant sleeping rough. Will be deported. Militant. Charter flight. Expulsion as a brutal secret in handcuffs. Unwilling. Women charged for giving birth after the trafficking, after the rape. Malicious. Jarl's Wood is locking away too many hearts. Will not let them heal. Warlike. Landlords, doctors, teachers, footballers,
Sorry, guys.
Standoffish. Do not fall in love with the wrong passport. Resentful. Black and brown, forced to prove their right to free healthcare. Unwelcoming. The number of refugees dying to reach you. Afraid. 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 How long must we make a case for migration? Recount the times it has carried this country on its neck so this nation could bask in the glory of its so-called greatness. How loud should we chant our stories of beauty, of struggle, of grit? Write all the ways we are lovely and useful across our faces before we become a hymn sheet singing of desperation. What time left to find a favourite cafe? And there are some people whose clothes will never start a riot. Those who will never know the grief of having a face made synonymous with a thug. The trauma of this deserves its own word. It is true that the things we experience are wrapped up in the life we are given. But when it comes to who we are, down to our most intimate core, are we all just a bit lonely, a little scared, asking questions no one truly has answers for? Consider this. Many of us did not want to get up this morning. Some of us couldn't. There is that dazed place we all inhabit seconds before fully waking that has no passport, needs no border. When the temperature drops to a chill, a body becomes its own shelter. Shoulders round into a cave, protecting itself. Some of our worst fears will come true, others won't. We are all still chewing on words we wish we'd said to someone somewhere, and longing to swallow back the ones we've said in anger. Our first love will make ours. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So, if we want to find that poem somewhere, where will we find it?
I have a website, selinarulu.com, and it's under essays, it's there. But I can share it around if someone to share it. Okay.
Thank you so much. That was really beautiful. Really necessary. Thank you. So, next up, I'm going to invite Jonathan Gartley to come and speak. He's the leader now of the Green Party. Co-leader of the Green Party, there's two.
Co-leader.
And Jonathan has been a really consistent supporter of so many environmental, human rights, anti-deportation, anti-racist campaigns, and it's a real joy to have him here. He's a real consistent activist. So thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'm not sure how much I can add to what Selina and Margot and Phyllis and all the other speakers, amazing speakers, have said. But I did want to say very clearly and very unequivocally that the Green Party is 100% behind the Stansted 15, and we will be supporting them all. facing life imprisonment for saving people's lives. For us, the Stansted 15 are not criminals, they are heroes. But I also want to raise what was raised by Margot and other people and our wonderful spokesperson from Amnesty, is that this feels very much to me like we are at a crossroads. And friends, it's time to pick a side. There can be no centre ground around this issue. There is no vapid centrism. We need to stand unequivocally because we're at a point where we can go one way or another. We teach our children history at school for a reason, so they can recognise when civil liberties are being clamped down upon. They can recognise when a country is turning in the wrong direction. That they speak out very loudly and very clearly that we can be, and we must be, so much better than this. So I went over to the jungle camp in Calais after I was elected co-leader 2 years ago. I've been back to Dunkirk and seen the children that we are turning our backs on, children that we are allowing to be tear gassed. When I go to the detention centres and hear from the refugees, the asylum seekers, the migrants who have been taken away in the middle of the night, are banged up in cells, 3 to a cell, in conditions worse than prison, when they are made to work a few hours a day to afford basic toiletries and basic sanitary items. I know that this country is going entirely in the wrong direction, and we must say no. It's no coincidence that we're seeing the CPS now raise the stakes here and have these trumped up anti-terror charges. It comes, as already has been said, on the back of the Frack-Free 4, the 3 people imprisoned just a few days ago for standing up and already making a stand about our future safety, our future well-being. Their fight is our fight, your fight here is our fight. The HS2 protesters who are facing injunctions, the people who are facing injunctions in Sheffield against the destruction of street trees, we are all on the same side, and we must all hang together, we must all support one another and make those links. We must be on the same side. We must say that there must be no turning back. We must fight for our rights and for our civil liberties. If we don't, we will regret it tomorrow. Friends, I also want to say on the specific issue that the Green Party is with you absolutely clearly and unequivocally. It isn't just about ending indefinite detention. It is about ending detention, full stop, and shutting them down. It's about saying clearly we must open up our borders, not close them. We cannot look in on ourselves. We must build bridges and not walls. We must say unequivocally that we will welcome refugees, asylum seekers and migrants, and we will take our fair share, and we will take more than our fair share as the 6th richest country in the world. Friends, we will be here, we will be encouraging people to support the Stansted 15. I just want to say a message to the police. I know that you didn't sign up for this. You didn't sign up for this kind of infringement of civil liberties. You didn't sign up for this abuse of anti-terror laws.
They did.
Some of them may have. But I know that you have children, you have families, that your country is our country too. And I want to say to you that we should be on the same side. Because the decisions that you make, the actions that you take will affect your children and your children's children. They affect the people here today, they affect the people in that courtroom. And I want to say to you, come and join us. Come and join us, stand with us. Not with your oppressors. Friends, thank you for being here today. The Green Party will go on supporting what you're doing. We will go on supporting the Stansted 15. You know what? We can win this. We will win this. Thank you very much.